Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Firstly, we're Wednesday the 24th, 23, 22, 21, 19th or something, and welcome to a new studio vlog. It's the number 2. The number 2 was not supposed to be this one. The next video on my channel was not supposed to be this one. So let me tell you a little story. On Sunday night, I usually go back to my flat. Usually I go to my parents' place a few weekends a month, and usually my dad brings me back with his car. He drives me home, and I'm home, and this is how it happens every Sunday night. But this Sunday, Pauline and Jessie. Pauline is one of my very dearest friends from Australia, and Jessie is her best friend. They are from Amsterdam and they were in Paris. So we decided to meet and to have dinner together with Tom also, so the 4 of us. And my dad couldn't bring me earlier, obviously, because there would be way too many people in Paris. So he brings me to the metro. And I took the metro, and I got robbed in the metro. This is an entire story that I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna try to tell it very quickly, so it's not gonna be kind of boring, even if this is the most incredible story you're gonna hear today. So I don't think it's gonna get boring, but maybe hearing me is gonna get boring. Anyway. So basically what happened is that I missed my station, so I wanted to go back and take another metro for another station and then take back another one anyway. And I saw a very shady family, and I was like, when you're a girl in Paris, you're not looking at people if you're not feeling very safe, and there were no one in the metro station. So I decided to walk very fast. And when I got into the metro station, waiting for the metro, I'm gonna say metro way too much. I was waiting and my music stopped, and I was like, oh, it's already the end of the playlist. Because I'm always being so careful, I was like, I'm not gonna put out my phone from my bag, because I had a little backpack and I had 2 other bags carrying like this, because I was back from a weekend, so obviously I had stuff. So my backpack was in my bag, obviously. I never put anything in my bag, but this time I really didn't have the choice, and I was kind of in a hurry. So, and then I was like, oh, it might be the end of the playlist. So I was like, I'm not gonna take my backpack, take my phone, otherwise people are gonna see that I have stuff in my backpack, and I don't want them to see it because I'm being very careful in Paris. But then I was like, okay, the metro is coming in only a few minutes, so I have time to make sure everything is alright. I put down my bags, I take my backpack, and it's opened and it's empty. Basically, it's empty. So I'm like breathing very hardly, and even today I'm like, I have no idea what I should do. So it was all my papers, my purse, my papers, and my phone. The first thing I tell myself is like, okay, I know my way, I know how to go back to my place to feel safe. Firstly, I was like, okay, let's go to the train desk. But there was no one, and I was panicking kinda. An English couple looked at me like, they were like, should we do something or not? But I feel like they were like, this girl is strange, so they passed in front of me. And the shady family was here. I saw them, they saw me, but I was the only one. I didn't feel safe I couldn't do anything. So at the moment, I was like, okay, this is just material. It was a lot of money, obviously, because I mean, my phone is an iPhone 11 that I bought in Australia. I worked for that money, or I saved it. So it's very annoying, but I can pay for another one. Not now, but in a few months when I can have save up some money. My papers, I mean, it's all right. I'm gonna call my bank, and it's okay. It's just material. That's one of the first things I told myself. There was two people coming onto the train. I don't know how to say, but you know, the place where you're waiting for the metro, basically. And I said, okay, excuse me. I talked in French, obviously. I said, excuse me, I just got robbed. I really need to call my dad. I'm really sorry. Do you mind if I call him, or if you just send him a message, please? Because I don't know what to do. And the both of them were so cute. They were here at the right moment, at the right place. They waited for my dad to answer, which took a while because, I mean, they were Canadian. So I think my dad was like, there's a Canadian number calling me. Why? So he didn't pick up. So I sent it like messages. But then basically when he called me back, I didn't have any services. So I told him, he kind of understood, but naturally, but he kind of understood. So he called the bank to block one of my credit card, debit card actually, but anyway. And then I told him, okay, I'm gonna go back to the flat. I'm gonna wait for Tom, because Tom was coming back from a weekend with his family. I'm gonna wait for Tom, and I'll call everything I need to call to do what I need to do to, you know, like go to the police station and extra. I was kind of panicky. I didn't know what to do, but I was like, okay, let's go back home. It's gonna be all right. It's just material. But then I entered the metro. I sat down and I thought, okay, yeah, because there was my reader, electronical reader, you know, to read books, but in the tablet. I was like, shit, this one's in my backpack, still in my backpack. My iPad was still in my backpack because I have a little pocket in it, and I felt like this saved my iPad, so I was very blessing and very grateful. But then I was like, my hard drive. Shit, my hard drive. And I started immediately crying in the metro. Because the first time I cried, it was more of a shock thing. Because as I told you, I was like, it's gonna be alright, it's just material, I will buy it when I can, whatever. But my hard drive, it's the only place where I had all my photos and all my videos of Australia, all the vlogs, all the videos for my YouTube channel. Basically, almost everything that I really care about that is not material is these photos, is these videos that I took. It's painful because this trip was a trip I've dreamed of for years, and I saved all of these like memories on this hard drive, and I saw that in September I had to buy another hard drive to copy everything, so if something happened to one of it, it's gonna be alright, I will have it. But it got stolen, and this money can't buy it. And it was very hard. A very cute girl came in the metro to see me because she saw me like kind of panicky. I was probably dead white, I was crying, and I was like, okay. So I told her everything, and one of the first things she said is like, you still lived it. They didn't like erase your memory or anything. So I know you want to show the picture, you want to do something with it, you want to do like a photo book or something, but think about that they can't steal your memories, and your true memories are in your head. This is entirely true, I have to admit, but it still hurts because money or nothing won't buy my pictures back and my videos. Anyway, I came back to my flat, and it's a very, very long story, guys. So I came back to my flat. We went to the train station, because first to the train station, I told them what I lost. So if someone found it or whatever, they will tell me. Then I went to the police station, but actually at 8 it closed the deposition post or whatever, so I couldn't put my deposition. At night, we still saw Pauline and Jesse, which was so cool because I was able to think about something else, and I was really positive because in this kind of moment, this is the only thing you can be and do, is being positive, because otherwise you're just gonna cry, and it's not gonna teach you, you're not gonna learn anything. So I tried to be really positive, and I was like, it's just material. And for my hard drive, I still have some picture on my phone. Obviously it's not the same and everything, but it's still in my memory. At night, I had to do an online deposition. So in the morning, when I will go to the police station, it will be very quick. I closed the online deposition, and I was like, let's play Animal Crossing. I'm gonna think about something else, because it was already like 2:30, but I couldn't think of anything else, because in this time, like, I should have done this, if I haven't done that, extra. And at the moment I realized they also stole my Switch. And this was kind of too much. This was kind of the moment I was like, still, I can't really buy it again, because it's like a collector version, because I have the Animal Crossing version of my Switch. But I was like, it's okay. You will play again Animal Crossing. You will reinvent your city, for example. It's okay. You will make a better one. It's gonna be much better because now you know everything about the game. Don't worry, girl. It's just material. It's gonna be alright. And first, trust me, I cried, but 10-15 minutes after, I was like, go positive, because as a very well-known French influencer always say, plus equal plus, which means positives brings positive. And I truly believe that, and trust me, after this story, I entirely believe it. So I didn't quite sleep this night. I slept like 3 hours. And yeah, forgot a section of the story. We're gonna change a bit. We're gonna change a bit of a location, otherwise you're gonna get bored. So I have the location on my phone, and I was able to have it thanks to my iPad or my laptop. So I knew exactly where was my phone. I had the address and everything. It was a hotel. Actually, it is a hotel. So I looked for the hotel on Google, and it was a very shady hotel, I have to admit. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, it's a shady hotel, so they're probably dealing, I don't know, drugs, electronic or whatever up there. So I'm gonna tell that to the police. I probably know for sure that they won't go there, because they have so many other stuff to do than just look for an iPhone. But maybe it might help them in an investigation or something. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, I'm gonna just type the address on Google. I don't know why I said that, but that was one of the best ideas I could have had, because I found that there was a hotel, but right next to the hotel, it was a police station. Are you kidding me? I was like, that's weird. That's weird, but let's not hope anything. let's not hope anything, otherwise you're gonna be so disappointed. So I went to the police station at my place in the 14th arrondissement of Paris. I did my deposition. I told them about everything. I did the deposition, and I told them, well, I knew the location. So they say, okay, tell us. I told them, and I said, well, I look on Google. Apparently, next to it, it's a police station. And say, well, try to call them. We never know. You might be lucky. I was like, yeah, maybe. But then we tried to find the number of this police station, and we didn't find anything. We found like a text number, so you have to pay to call them. We called them, and actually we never had anyone at the end of the phone, so we were like, okay. But I was like, still, it's weird. So this was on Monday morning, and at the end of the morning, Tom's dad was like, come to my office, and I'm gonna give you a spare phone so you can still communicate or whatever. And if you need your phone, we can give you one for a moment. So we went to Tom's dad's office, and at the exact moment we arrived, my dad called Tom and say, the police call me, they have RRO's phone and switch. I was so happy, and I already knew they didn't have the hard drive or any of my papers or anything. I have to admit, my papers, everybody told me, oh, I'm so sorry for your papers, this is so annoying to do them again. And I was like, I don't fucking care about my papers. I'm gonna pay for them or whatever, but my hard drive. Anyway, but I was like so relieved that they had my phone and my Nintendo Switch, so I had to call a number. So I called the number. So it was a woman, and she said, yeah, we have it, but can you tell me a bit more of how it happened? So I told her. She said, okay, so I'm gonna ask for your deposition in the 14th because they are in the 10th. We're gonna ask the deposition of the 14th so we can compare what you told me and what you've written, and if everything match, then you can come. But I have to tell you something, and it's kind of a bad news. I was like, okay. And she said, we have a law in France that say that when you buy something, it's your own. But if someone rob it and take it from you, it's theirs. What basically happened is that they got the guy that was buying my stuff to another man. So I don't know if it was the guy that robbed me that sell it to this man, Mr. X, we're gonna say. But they got Mr. X buying my stuff from another guy. So at that moment, my stuff was Mr. X. And what happened is that usually they say, okay, because they have to, Mr. X have to agree to give me back my stuff. Even if the police have them, they can't give it back to me if Mr. X is not willing to. But usually what happens is that they ask, do you want to give back the stuff? And they say, yeah, of course, give them back and let me go, it's okay. Obviously, I had to find the only people on earth that don't have any brain, any heart or anything. And he said, no, you don't give her back unless I have money. So the police was not able to give me back my stuff. What happened is that in this case, they call a magistrate, I don't know the English name, I will put it here, and they ask for this person to make a decision if I can take back my stuff or not. I mean, there was no reason that this guy was not gonna say yes. It was still a bit of stress again and again and again. And I had my throat and I had my stomach and they were like crunchy and I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't eat anything. I was just like, is this day and nightmare gonna end? Like, I have my stuff but I can't get them back. What the fuck? So the girl, she told me, well, you know, I'm gonna call the magistrate. I still don't know the English name. And I tell you anything new. I called Tom's number because they had Tom's number. And then I said, well, can I just ask you a question? How did you get my dad's phone? Because when I knew my phone was stolen, on the Apple, on my iPad, I could say that my phone got stolen. Please call this number, and it was Tom's number if you find it. So I was like, how did you get my dad's number? And she said, because you did your emergency info. You put them on your phone, and I put it some contacts, and the contacts were my dad, my mom, and Tom's. So she called my dad answered, so this is how they find my dad's number. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, then she called me back an hour after that, and she said, well, we're gonna ask for the CCTV of the train station. So please, can you describe yourself a little bit so we can find you on the CCTV and then check what happened? I was like, yeah, of course. So I described myself, how I was dressed and everything. And when we went to the train station the day before to tell that I got robbed and everything, one of the guys told me, well, they never request a CCTV except if something physical happened to you. So we said, okay, they might be on a thing, and so they want to check the CCTV somehow. So then I was just waiting for a call telling me if I can have back my stuff or not. So I waited long hours, a lot of stress. We actually also visited some apartment because we are moving out from this flat. We are still gonna live in Paris, but we're moving out from this flat. But I will tell you the entire story in another video, guys. So what happened at 5? A guy called me. No, it was at 4. A guy called me and say, hi, this is me handling now the investigation of your file or whatever. In case you're allowed to come take your stuff, we are allowed to give it back to you. Can you come today or tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, I can come whenever you want, no worries. So it was like, okay, I'll keep in touch. And an hour later or 2 hours later, he called me back and said, well, you can come take your stuff. And I was so relieved. So we jumped in the metro. We arrived in Paris. That was not a very safe place in Paris, but anyway, we arrived in the police station, and it was not a normal police station. Like usually, it's not a place where the public can come. It's more of a place where criminals go. So it was really a weird mood, like having people with guns and everything. And I mean, most of the people are gonna be, duh, you're in a police station, but you know, it's a feeling where you're like, okay. But then I got back my phone and my Switch. Thank you so much. I'm actually filming on my phone, so I can't show it to you, and my Switch is in the living room. I was so happy, and I asked 2 things, and these are 2 lessons that I learned. The first thing was, how did it happen? How did you find back my stuff? Is it possible that I know or not? And the guy said, well, I got back your investigation today, so this wasn't me doing the thing. But basically what happened is that they found a guy in a train station, and they were like, he's a bit shady. So they controlled him. He was having lots of tech stuff on him and couldn't explain how he had it. So this is how they took everything back to the police station, and they looked if there was any deposition, but there was not, because obviously, as I told you, when I went to the police station, it was already closed, so I had to do it on the next morning. And he said, well, what happened is that there was no deposition, so we're like, okay, but they checked for my emergency thing, and this is where they saw my dad's contact. And thanks to this, they were able to call my dad the next day. If I hadn't did that, what would have happened is that it would have taken weeks and weeks. And one day when they kind of didn't had anything to do, they would take the stolen stuff and look for any deposition. But because I didn't do my deposition right after this happened, there was no deposition. So they were like, well, weird. So they called my dad on the morning. And my dad said, well, there is also all the papers, the hard drive, and a switch. And they say, well, we have a switch. We don't have anything else, but we have a switch. So this is how they found everything. So to listen, do your health info thing if you have an iPhone, but I'm pretty sure on Samsung or whatever, it should exist. And then if something happens to you, like you get robbed or anything, I know I was so panicked. I didn't want to go anywhere with that Tom because I felt so unsafe. But go to the police and make a deposition, because you never know. You actually never know. So I got my stuff back. I went back to my place. I called my parents. I was like, I got them back. And I was crying because it was a lot of stress coming out from my body. And then I hung up with my dad's, and I checked my phone. I went on Messenger, and I saw a message like from someone that is not one of my friends on Facebook. I opened the message, and all the time it's like shitty guys or annoying people say, hi, how are you? And I don't know them. This time it was a girl saying, hi, I work on the train station. I found all your papers. So I was so surprised. I was so in shock, and I was like, I have a good start. I don't know if we can say that in English, but I have someone looking out for me at the moment. I'm so fucking lucky. I was like, are you kidding? Like, are you serious? Can I get them back? And she said, yeah, of course. Came, I'm at this place. It was 10 minutes away by walking from our place. And I said, were there any hard drive or anything? She said, oh, sorry, I didn't find any hard drive. But she said, well, I'm going back to the place I found them. So she found them on the rails, basically on the rails, because this is where she works. She said, I'm gonna look for it tonight, and I'm gonna ask my colleagues and everything, but I found your papers. So I went to the place. I got back all my papers and my purse, which was actually a bit sentimental because I bought it in Australia and there is my name on it. And this girl, thank you to her if one day she sees that, because basically she sent me a message on Facebook, but she also sent me a message on Instagram, and she had my Instagram because in my purse there are my business cards from Originalite, so she probably found my Instagram name thanks to that, and thank you so much for that. So even the next day she didn't find my hard drive, but that's all right. The people probably put it in the trash or whatever. And this is how the story ends, basically. I found all the materials back, but not my pictures and everything. But I learned some stuff. I definitely learned some stuff, and that's what I want to share with you. So, well, I already told you about the emergency contact info and about going to the police station right away. But I also learned that first, always save everything twice. But I also learned that all your memories are in your head. And it was very annoying, and it is still very annoying and still very painful, because I'm like, this is souvenirs, and they're not gonna do anything with my hard drive. It's worth nothing. but all my memories are in my head and in my heart, and that's the most important part and important thing. The other thing I learned is that I should stop always postponing everything, because I had so many studio vlog ready for you guys. Some studio vlog about me creating my Animal Crossing collection on my Etsy shop, and also another video about a big announcement about my shop, and all my vlogs from Australia. I was kind of editing them, but I was like, yeah. And every day I was like, yeah, it was a while ago, but I still want to document my life and put that out there. But now I can't anymore. And that told me stop postponing every single thing, and especially stuff that matters to you. Because this really mattered to me, and now I can't do anything about it. But I learned a bigger thing, which is always be positive. As I told you at the beginning of the video, I was so positive during this entire kind of process that I'm pretty sure, thanks to my positivity, I mean, I found back pretty much everything: my phone, my wallet, all my papers, and my Switch. And so I'm so lucky, and thank you. I don't know who, I don't know what for that, but I just feel like thanks to this positive energy, it kept bringing some positive news also. And I know how this can be harmful and awful, because for example, now each time I take my Switch, I'm thinking about a guy taking also my Switch. And actually, he also changed my name on my Switch. He changed the name in the language. I don't know why, but anyway. So it's a bit where I'm like, someone I don't know touched that. Someone that is shady, someone that is a criminal touched it. And that's kind of the same for my phone. I don't know what I was saying, why I was saying that, but basically, stop postponing, be always positive, because positive brings positive, and that's a really big story to say that. Now what happened now is just that I'm praying for my hard drive, for one day maybe someone finding it in the metro or whatever. And that's pretty much it, guys. I didn't knew I was gonna talk for 30 minutes long, but it was quite a story, and I wanted to share it with you. And so what happened is that basically it's just gonna be a little video about this. It's gonna be easier for me to organize myself now, because each time I'm gonna shoot a video or whatever, I will be able to edit it and upload it as soon as I can. Because every time I was like filming, I filmed so many vlogs, guys, but I didn't take the time to edit it, and now I can't anymore. So now we are back to a real time frame, I'm gonna say. That was my story. Positive brings positive, and even in kind of hard times or whatever. I'm excited actually to have this new journey here on YouTube, and basically to share it kind of daily. So I'm gonna edit this video kind of as quick as I can, and it's not a very funny video, but it felt also important for me, because this YouTube place is a place where I document my life kind of, and I wanted to share this story with you. And I'm aware I'm really lucky, and yeah, it felt important for me to share that with you. So that's pretty much it, guys. Well, I will see you in the next video, and it will be about my shop. I will tell you a bit more about my shop and everything. I hope you're excited for this. Always stay positive, guys.
Lego. Yeah. Don't know. Oh yeah.
It's the original Batman.
One time, it's a bad man thing. It's body, baby. VQs, let's
It's
go.
VQs.
I'ma make you bounce like a hurricane.